when their guy plays some games.
Alright, hi y'all, Weather Guy here. We are back with some more of Sunless, guys. I hope you're doing great. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling great, actually. We're here in Albion, which is exciting. This time I do have my kiddo sleeping next to me, so the recording may suddenly end. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But yeah, we finally made it. We're at some place called the Bit Between in Albion, not too far from the transit relay. We're going to see what they have here. The officials of Brabazon never bothered to formally name this waypoint. Captains dock here to pick up goods or deliver workers. It is not a place to linger because of the proximity to the accelerated time of the Workworld. Interesting. Okay. Brabazon Workworld. The first Workworld to be established in Albion. Working here, debtors can escape prison. They remain till their debts are repaid and a ticket away has been funded. Their primary industry is hours processing, which has a side effect of accelerating time on the Workworld surface. The dock is between Brabazon Workworld and Little Nice, where the more privileged overseers reside. The dock is, for captain's sake, nearer Little Nice than the Workworld. Unexpected aging would deter even the greediest captain from arriving. Okay, so Workworld is where the working happens, Little Nice is where the captains hang out. So we can join a tour or we can join a tour. Oh, it's just what we pay with. Interesting. Let's start from the bazaar. Unseasoned hours. At a bargain. Actually, we can sell stuff. We have some... Oh, we can't sell the things we have here. Unfortunate. Alright, let's buy what unseasoned hours we can, though. Yeah. There's also the clay conductor, which we may hire as well. Alright, let's go to Little Nice first. Thick double doors separate the Bit Between from Little Nice. The fresh air of this pretty village is in sharp contrast to that near the dock. Little Nice is entirely charming. It is populated with carefully unique houses, painted in a curated array of colors. Overseers in striped blazers tend the topiary, and maintain the paintwork. Behind a water feature bustling with cherubs is a cottage with an out of place little tower. This is the home of the governor of Brabazon. Alright. We don't need to lower our terror. We can go ahead and do our port report. The overseers here work hard to ensure Little Nice remains perfect, from the freshly painted fence curlicues to the newly mown grass of the lawn. It's hard to get a sense of what's going on in Brabazon from your current curated surroundings. Very odd. The overseers themselves are no use. They must have been briefed. Each gives you clearly sanitized information. You only have to speak to 4 before you hear a repetition. You'll have to go down to the Workworld itself to learn anything true about Brabazon. Oh, interesting. So we can't get a port report here. He points out a plaque on the wall. This is a list of the original donors who helped us set up Brabazon Workworld. They've all contributed to this place. Oh, child's starting to actually stir a little bit. A place where destitute can learn new skills and find a home. He leans back in his desk chair. Some donors visit Brabazon to ensure their good work continues. Lost 2 salons to gossip, but we got a caddy of dried tea. We're getting all this new currency. Oh, I see, that's what that was. Recline on a bench. We don't need to do this, but let's do it anyway. The grass is immaculately cut, the hedges are trimmed, stars burn silver above. But it is hard to ignore the thunder of the hour looms, spinning their knot of hurrying time over the workworld below. Interesting. Probably shouldn't have done that, honestly. Alright, that's pretty much all we can do on this side right now. So now we're going to go back to the Bit Between. head down to the work world. So what's the difference between these? We can spend a permit for this, which I don't really want to do, or we can spend unseasoned hours, and we can, apparently there's a potential for rebellion here. A neatly printed sign offers tours of Brabazon. Witness the worthy work of Albion's unfortunates, blessed with toil. Near it, several well-dressed personages are gathered in a tight group. Occasional guffaws rise above the chatter. Once we join the tour, we can't leave till the end. That might be a mistake. I bet we're going to get a large passage of time here. We run this tour at cost, you know, says the overseer who collects your contribution. Oh, that's a girl's voice, I'm sorry. She hands the group over to the tour leader, who shepherds you all into a side room. Tour leader hands out thick cloaks. To keep off the smut. See, now we can do that voice, because it's a different person. The group covers itself. The hood lends one woman, with her hair coiled up high on her head, an awkward shape and unexpected height. Satisfied, the tour leader begins a briefing. Get a carriage clock. As you know, time on the workworlds moves more velocitously than it does outside. In order to exempt you from the effects, we've had the loom spin a fold of external hours to cover the tour. Please, carry these carriage clocks. They will show you how much time your protection will last for. Please don't stray. He pauses for emphasis. It is crucial that you stay with the tour. Your time runs out. Every minute it takes for us to realize could be hours for you. There's a flurry of anxious whispers. Once it has subsided, the group is led onto the work world. Your group is accompanied by two overseers. The overseer bringing up the rear is a woman in her early 30s. She checks her carriage clock compulsively. Makes sense if you do this tour all the time, and if you're always around here, you've really got to keep a carriage clock on you and checked, because that would add up a lot if you miss a minute here, a minute there over the years. Admire the rugs. Our first stop on the tour is the Brabazon Rug Weaving Workshop. The overseer beams and gestures for you to enter a building larger than any other on the street. Rug time. An attractive young worker leaps up to greet you. This workshop was built thanks to the generosity of Lady T. Blanker. Please admire our beautiful handcrafted rugs and weavings exported for sale in London. Workers here gain skills that can support them for the rest of their days. Group of workers nods and smiles at you. One stands to better display their work. Another thanks you for your visit. The youth is the last to see you out. Perhaps I'll see you elsewhere in Albion. Let's look at the workers and smile. I'm not a rug guy. They smile back, and their smiles are as stiff and rehearsed as the line the youth delivered. Tour moves on, sad. Visit the glass workers. A fascinating aspect of Brabazon is the mutually beneficial relationship between the place and its workers. The overseer makes a sweeping gesture. Make note of the smog. I'll explain more inside. The building you enter is heated by vast furnaces and ovens. Workers are blowing molten glass. The smog prevents much of the sun's heat from reaching Brabazon. Without factories such as this, Brabazon would freeze. The workers keep the factories alive, the factories heat the work world, and it becomes a pleasant place to live. Here, work enriches life. Several of the group coo in admiration. One man boasts about his Brabazon glass collection. A young lady in gaudy finery turns to you. My parents would paid for the main furnace to ensure that the poor would never go without. What did you fund? Okay, let's say we're not one of the donors. We're going to be honest. The young lady blushes. So dangerous, so romantic. That sounds much more fun. Is it difficult? Perhaps my parents will buy me a locomotive. She seems bored for much of the rest of the tour. It seems the thrills of your profession outweigh the charm of inherited virtue. That salons do gossip, that's good. Tour moves on through the upper layer of Brabazon, towards a refinery that belches heat like a dying dragon. Peer through the window at the hour refiners. Please line up here, that's it. The overseer indicates alongside a long, low window. It has been recently cleaned to a shine. Inside, hard-working souls refine raw hours imported from the Reach. After this process, they may be spun in hour looms and put to use. He taps his carriage clock as an example. The refinery is a clamoring, roaring space of long benches, sweating workers, and rolling smoke, the overseer explains. The geodes containing the hours are cracked open, and the fibrous strands of salt-like time are separated with small chisels and saws. Men and women do the former work, children the latter. Oh, that was supposed to be my normal voice. Filaments are then passed through a series of furnaces to remove impurities, which are then turned, brushed away in an indigo slush. Slush is raked to ensure not even a stray minute is lost. Once the seconds and minutes and hours are extracted, they are seasoned, taken from a very high temperature to a very low one, and back. After this, the tangled clumps, the color of the sky just before dawn or after dusk, are carded and wound into spools and long filaments. The overseer raps sharply on the window. As one, the nearby workers look up, smile, and wave. Oh, we can linger and watch? Let's do this, actually. It might waste us some time, but that's okay. I'm not really concerned about that. Seconds after your group has moved on, a worker in the middle of the front row leaps from her seat. She pulls on the striped blazer that had been hidden on her lap and dashes from the room. She is replaced by another, gray and exhausted. No one looks up. Terrifying, actually. That's so scary. Being that replaceable. That hopeless. Leaving the refinery behind, you turn through the streets towards the ceaseless ring of hammers. Short walk, then you enter a dusty yard. Watch the rock break. Tour leader adopts a noble frown. Unfortunately, not all work on Brabazon can be creatively fulfilling. We also produce raw components like gravel and aggregates. You have looped back to a yard near the bit between. Second overseer is already there. Men and women, hard with muscle, bright with sweat, are breaking rocks with sledgehammers. They wear vests and breeches with cloth masks to keep out the worst of the dust. We equip our workers with safety gear just in case prolonged exertion in this air might prove unpleasant. As you can see, the regular exercise ensures they are strong and healthy. Many leave Brabazon with athletic inclinations and pursue fitness as a profession. A stout gentleman with a monocle sidles up to you. This whole place is just marvelous, eh? Kept busy while paying off debts. Giving you skills and education, simply marvelous. I'm repulsed. The man frowns. You're wrong, of course. He nods sagely. Yes, they must have been some of their years here, but what would they do with those years otherwise? Squander them, suffer, and die. His expression is condescending. Better the improving conditions of honest work, don't you think? You refrain from punching him in the smile. Halfway through our time. Come on. The overseer is gesturing at you angrily. We can't waste another moment. We have to leave now. Complete the tour. Second overseer takes a head count. A poor one, for she double counts twice before giving up. Nevertheless, she signals her partner to go ahead. Hope you appreciate our little tour, and we shall pass your thanks on to the workers of Brabazon. Perhaps when they've paid off their debts, you'll see them again. The overseer shakes the hands of the most prominent donors. Of course, this entire endeavor is thanks to your generosity, he murmurs to them. While the group preens, he collects the carriage clocks. The overseer takes your spent carriage clocks, draws you aside. You're a skyfarer, aren't you? We've need for someone without official connections to the governor to help us with a delicate matter. Someone who's not a sponsor. There are unsavory individuals on Brabazon Workworld. They inveigle others to do their work so that they might have the time to do plot. They're fomenting unrest. He shakes his head. It won't do. Just makes the other workers unhappy. Next time, see if you can sneak away from the tour. I hear their leader is looking for outside assistance. He winces. For once, time is on their side. They have so long to plan, relative to us. If you hear anything, pass it to me. I'll be around here. I think we don't want to betray these workers. Hmm. Yeah. The overseer shakes his head sadly. Not all things are so easily changed or changed for the better. I've been here long enough to know that. He smiles wryly. They don't lie, you know. It is possible to work your way out. Oh, interesting. He searches your face for a change of heart. You don't have to decide now, but if you hear news, please come to me. I'll speak to the governor and make sure you're paid for any information. Alright. We've done the tour. We can always do the tour again now to try to talk to the leader. But I think that's okay. I think that's a fine place to stop with the tour stuff. And actually, let's talk to the clay conductor. A hulking clay man in a heavy coat stands on the platform. The clay men were an underclass in old London. Very few of them came to the skies. This one holds an urn to his chest. You're a captain. You can perform funeral rites, he says, nodding to the urn in his arms. Then I want to travel. He pauses for a long moment, and then, as if feeling something more might be expected, I could help out on your engine. We already have a first officer. 6 and 2. 6 and 2 for her as well, just different skills. But it's probably still to have him anyway, just for someone to talk to and a quest to do, right? We asked the conductor where he would like to hold the ceremony. He looks about confused as though he hadn't expected the question. At last, he comes to a conclusion. Here will do, he says, indicating the crowded thoroughfare. You and a few of the more respectable of your crew gather for a brief funeral. Everyone has at least something in black. You offer the expected phrasings before pausing for the eulogy. The clay conductor shakes his head. You do it, he grunts. So we'll say something. You render up a bounty of platitudes, benign wishes to the beyond, and maudlin remembrances of departed friends. The conductor frowns, stonily hilarious, realizing he needs to give you at least something to work with. He could sing, he manages. You work a line about a man of clay with the voice of an angel into the eulogy. The conductor seems satisfied. Where's your engine? I'm ready to assume my duties. The conductor picks up the urn and heads off in the direction you point. Fantastic. With that, I think it's time to do a bit of exploring. Oh, no. Okay, yeah. Which way do we go, though? I think we try to connect things up here to the northeast. Under this bridge. I don't know where we're going. I don't know if we're gonna find another dock anywhere soon, you know. But we're gonna go. There's gotta be like an actual hub place where we can sell our stuff though, huh? Okay. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Not sure what we're even looking for. It's very nerve-wracking, honestly. Nursery. 12. Something grave here. Humble wooden coffins pepper the sky here. This is a bully's acre, a pauper's graveyard. There is little room for the dead in London. So we can pay our respects, which we'll just say we don't need to do that. Break open a coffin. Investigate a mysterious gleaming. Kinda want to just go for this. Even though it's a low chance, right? But we're pretty good at breaking open. I just want to do this, stay on the safe side while we're new here. You take your least scrupulous signaler out onto the footplate. You bring no lanterns, relying on your sight and distant sunlight that scintillates off a few broken fragments of glass nearby. Soon enough, a promising coffin of pleasing bulk passes by, close enough to touch. Deft work with the coal shovel brings it aboard. Break it open in your cabin. Inside, the waxen face of a newly dead auditor. Fathers to bury an auditor in state. Within his stiffening fingers, the favored poetry of the Empress. We got Literature. Okay. Interesting. I'm really very unsure of what we're going to end up finding. But there's got to be another dock somewhere nearby. I love that the walls here are much more straight, I guess. Like it's more like corridors, you know? Whereas the Reach felt more like a wilderness. This is much more industrious. Child's really starting to wake up too. I need to find somewhere. I'm very nervous about approaching whatever this is. Oh, we're approaching something large. Big propeller. The Clockwork Sun. Oh my gosh, is this a thing I've seen in a trailer? Oh, this is sick. Okay, perfect. And this is where we're going to stop today at this incredible machine. Yeah, that's all I got. Thank y'all so much for watching. Y'all are amazing. Take care of yourselves. Take care of others. I'll see you next time. Peace out.